Approaching 6:50 here this Thursday, back with our Sunrise Smart Start and some breaking updates on multiple scenes this morning. A house is a total loss right here after it went up in flames on Clifton Street in Rochester. Those first calls came in around 4 a.m.
Yeah, this is what it looks like now, but we were also there early when the flames were still raging out of that rooftop, as you can see there, where the first responders told us they had to knock on neighbors' doors to get them out. The nearby homes did suffer some exposure issues from the smoke and the heat, but we're told they're still livable. Now, the home in question was abandoned and caught flames also about a month ago. The cause of this fire is still under investigation, but as we saw, that structure a total loss, so it will be demolished.
Just a few hours earlier, 10 people, including children, were left with another place to find to stay after this 2-alarm fire at a 4-story apartment building in Rochester. Crews were over there at Lake Avenue near Emerson Street around 12:30, and when they arrived, heavy flames were pouring out of the second floor. One tenant safely escaped through the 3rd floor fire escape before firefighters were able to knock down the rest of the flames. No one was seriously hurt, including first responders. The Red Cross showed up to help those find some alternate housing. The cause of these fires remains under investigation.
And also breaking, Rochester police searching for suspects after 2 men showed up to the hospital with gunshot wounds late last night. The officers say they got the call on Sawyer Street around 11 o'clock, reports of shots fired, and then later they learned that the 2 victims, ages 31 and 39, were already taken to the hospital. We're told that they are expected to survive, but of course this is an active investigation, so if you think you know anything, you're asked to please call 911.
State police say they have now connected a missing persons case from Rochester in 2011 to skeletal remains found in Steuben County.
Recently, in fact, those remains found now 10 years later by DOT workers in an underground culvert pipe off of Route 36 in Dansville. With new technology, investigators have confirmed that the victim is identified as Do So, a Burmese resident and a refugee who had come to the U.S. in 2008, then settled in the Rochester area. He was a Wegmans chef at the store on Monroe Avenue. Police say that on May 29th, 2011, So purchased a new cell phone at the mall in Greece with cash that he'd withdrawn from an ATM, but then they never actually found that. Then days later, a friend and confidant of So's reported him missing.
There is some possibility he had some connection to the Fort Lauderdale area, hence the Broward County folks assisting us with that. The state police have been there to conduct interviews and talk to people, and again, no stone is being left unturned in this case.
And prosecutors treating this case now as a homicide. They have also been in communication with So's family overseas. Now, anybody with information, you're asked to please give them a hand. Call this anonymous tip line we have on your screen here, 607-225-5400.
The suspect charged in a murder case out of Newark is still in custody this morning as investigators work to piece together what exactly led up to this. Police do tell us someone gave them a tip after overhearing a conversation about a body that was dumped in the Sodas area. Detectives identified 35-year-old Jared Nesmith as a person of interest and found him in Newark after doing an interview as he was detained. They say they learned of human remains hidden in Arcadia at the Zurich Bog Trail. Yesterday morning, they were investigating and blocking off a home here on Kyler Street where police say the victim was killed. The name of the victim hasn't been released. We did interview a man nearby who says he knew someone who lived at that house.
I just saw him last week. He was out on the porch hanging out with his roommates. I'm still another thing to process, you know. A mutual friend gave me a call to let me know. He had sent his brother over here earlier to find out what had happened. And I guess he talked to the police about it.
Nesmith is charged with murder, tampering with evidence, and concealment of a human corpse. In continuing updates, this partial government shutdown is now on its 2nd day. Some 750,000 federal workers are expected to be temporarily laid off, including most staff at the Departments of Education, Labor, and the EPA. The shutdown could also affect tourism in the U.S., with more than half of National Park Service employees furloughed.
And in our Health Watch headlines, the state warns parents about a rise in more severe pediatric flu patients. Last season, they were told there were 109 reports of a rare neurological complication from the flu in the United States, of which 37 kids were found to have some of the most severe cases. In New York alone, there were 13 reported. 3 of those sadly resulted in death. Among the 13 cases, 9 children did not get their yearly flu vaccine. One of them was ineligible. State Health Commissioner Dr. James McDonald encourages all New Yorkers make an appointment with either your provider or a local pharmacy to get vaccinated. The flu vaccine is available to anybody ages 2 and up at that pharmacy, but then ages 6 months and older, you can get those shots at the doctor's office.
To playoff baseball, when you look at the history of the wild card series, best of 3, the Game 1 winners have gone on to advance about 90% of the time. And last night, the Yankees had a chance to get one step closer to beating those odds after losing Tuesday night to Boston at home. It was a must-win game to keep the season going. Ben Rice had an impact early, bottom of the first. He has a 2-run shot. The Yankees strike first, up 2-0. We pick things up in the 6th inning. Yankees up 3-2. Trevor Story sends one out for Boston. A solo homer ties it up at 3. And then in the 8th inning, Austin Wells rips one down the right field line. Jazz Chisholm, you'll see him turning on the Jets, makes it all the way home from first, losing the helmet after crossing third. He's safe on the dive. That's the game-winning run. 4-3 the final, and we have that decisive Game 3 in the Bronx tonight just after 8 o'clock. Sunrise traffic updates at 6:55. Things are looking good, moving along at speed, seeing average drive times, not just here from our Greater Rock Sky Eye in 490, but 390 in and out of Henrietta, and 104 if you're coming in from Webster, about to get on the Bay Bridge. Just about there for official sunrise, James, and it's a good one here.
Yeah, 10 minutes until that time, and we are in that sweet spot for gorgeous pinks, reds, oranges. Yeah, picture perfect. You got the reflection off the Genesee River there as well. So soaking it in this morning. Red sky and morning does not mean the sailor take warning, which is gorgeous.
Yeah, not this time. No.
Upper 70s for you tomorrow, 80s for the weekend. And, you know, I teased it earlier. If we get to 80 tomorrow, whoosh, sweep through.
How about that next couple of days? We'll see you at 9 o'clock, the Rochester First streaming app for our podcast, Second Cup of Sunrise.
Have a great day, and thanks for watching, everyone.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather. Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 on demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.